Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 17 of the For the Batch podcasting series. My name is Elijah. I'm here with Andres and Diego, your co-hosts for the channel. Per usual, I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to ask the first question we do at the beginning of every episode. So, to each of you, all three of us, what is the one youngster in your club you think has the most potential, or you want to see go far, or blah blah blah, succeed for the club, whatever? If anyone wants to go first,
Wait. Preferably, sorry, just to clarify, preferably from the club. You said
doesn't have to be, but a youngster, yeah.
okay.
You'll see why I'm saying that personally.
I got
okay.
mine.
All right, go ahead, Andres. All right.
So I got two, but I'm sticking with under 21 because that was the preference. Not preference, whatever. Prerequisite for the selection. So mine is our striker, number 72, Deven Mubama is his name. He's 18 years old. He's actually was born in 2004, so he's actually younger than us. So that's pretty bad. But yeah. So
that was not necessary.
I know. I just had to put it in there. I saw it and I was like, damn, I thought he was like in his 20s. No, early 20s. Nope. He is 18 years old and he is one of our backup strikers now that Danny Ings and Scamacca are injured, and Antonio. He's the backup to Antonio, and he's actually been getting some game time recently. He's supposed to apparently get some game time tomorrow in the FA Cup matchup. And then he had some game time in Europa Conference League. And he actually, last year, he was in the Europa League, and on one of the group stages, he actually almost scored a couple of times. He looked very good. So yeah, that's a player I pick. I think he's promising, especially with our striker issues. I think he's one for the future, and he's done very well on the U21. He actually helped beat the Chelsea U21 team this weekend, and with an amazing finish. So yeah, that's my selection. So I hope he stays a hammer and becomes a great striker for us, homegrown too. So he's one of our own.
I like that. Diego, if you have yours.
Yeah, there's a couple that I like. I want to say, considering he's not at our club yet, I'm not going to say who I want to, but I'm going to give honorable mention to Destiny Udogie. Absolutely balling food in the Serie A, but he hasn't joined the club yet. It will be next summer. So I want to give some credit to players right here, right now, and I'm going to say Pape Matar, who won Best Young African Player of the Year last year, and played for Senegal at the World Cup, and started playing some minutes for us over the past, I would say, month or so, and he's looked very good. He's obviously young, still fresh. But at the age of 19, he has a good future ahead of him, and I like him. I like him a lot.
I like that. I didn't realize he's only 19.
Yeah.
Also, Spurs, you're about to sign an academy guy from Chelsea. One of our strikers.
Yes, I heard about that. Yeah.
He's really good, but he doesn't stay with us because of game time reasons, which I understand. Completely understand. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it leaves me. He isn't a homegrown talent, but he's young. He only been with the club for barely. I think he came in the summer. But Chukwuemeka, Carney Chukwuemeka, our winger, came from Aston Villa. I love him. I think unfortunately, he's not been given the opportunities he deserves. I think he needs to go out on loan, which he probably will this summer. But yeah, he had a few little run games in the past month or two. Some chance to come in, and when he did play, I think he had the most chances created in the Premier League or something like that. So he has the potential. It's just unfortunately he doesn't have the game time, which is understandable considering the team that we have. We're trying to build blah blah, and the pieces we're bringing in. So Chukwuemeka is my vote. All right, I like that. Good answers from everyone. Definitely good answers from everyone. Two names I didn't expect to hear. Okay, so I want to bring up the first topic here. Not Premier League related, exactly per se.
Okay.
But it does involve two other leagues. And it's going to be. So I want to talk about Serie A and their decline. Actually, I want to talk about the decline, and I want to raise another question about. I'll do it afterwards. But let's talk about the decline first. So, Diego tends to mention it a lot, but historically, at least 90s, early 2000s, whatever, Serie A was the league to be in, right? Definitely the league to be in. They had the top talents. They had the top teams, that being Milan, Juve. They had Maldini playing, in Serie A, blah, blah, blah. The Premier League has since become that. But I saw something saying that, like, in the January transfer window, or I think it was just January transfer window, the Serie A spent a combined, like, 15 million and all of its teams combined. Yeah,
Wow.
on players. Juve just got their what's it called, consequence for their financial
Oh yeah, they're in 11th now, right?
flaws. Yeah, they just drew or lost to Monza or something like that. Yeah, they're in shambles. I don't know. That team's gonna get picked apart. I'm surprised they haven't been picked apart. But in the summer, I feel like a lot of players are gonna leave. But yeah, let's just talk about it. Talk about what happened. What's happening? Why? Maybe not why, but how sad is it to see it? And yeah, what kind of thing is leading to? I mean, I'm gonna say the first thing is just they just can't keep up. Like we mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
They just can't keep up with everyone
Money,
else.
investments. A lot of investments
Yeah.
went into the Premier League, which made it go way above any other league. Like we talked about this last podcast about, like, will the Prem ever be bigger than any other club? Like we said, the NBA didn't. Not a lot of people like that analogy, apparently. But it's just because of money and investments, because people see more opportunity in English game, because I don't want to say like it's, I don't know, because I feel like they're English players and they all speak English, so it's easier to relate to and to understand, I guess, because it's in English instead of Italian. I feel like that's also an idea, so it's easy to invest in that because people can easily follow along, because English is very common, especially in the bigger countries per se,
Yeah.
specifically to the United States. So I feel like investment money wise came into a big factor in all of this.
Yeah. I see that. I mean, I think it's so surprising to me that you have the whole, like, the figure I said, 50 million combined by 20 clubs in a top 5 league. Like, that's not even something you hear about in the French league, which considered like the biggest farmers league out of all of them. But to me, I think like why the Premier League gets so much more investment is just marketability. And you raise a good point with the English thing, and I think that also highlights. I think right now the USA is the biggest market you could tap into right now, in the world, because especially at this World Cup, and this is like the most hype the country has ever been for the sport. And then we're gonna host the World Cup and blah blah blah, all that.
Copa
So I think
America too.
it is, yeah, in Copa America, and I think in the Olympics afterwards. It is just harder for in a non-English speaking country and or league to put their foot down in the country. Yeah. I want to raise the question I was going to ask is, and I have my own opinion on it, is could the Bundesliga, or is the Bundesliga becoming a better league to watch, partake in, go to than the Serie A right now amongst the
Yes,
top 5
I've
leagues?
said this so many times, but you always laugh at me. I always think the Bundesliga is better than Serie A. I don't know. And plus, I feel like, oh, that's hard. Are the fans better, like in the atmosphere? I'm gonna say
I mean,
because I don't know. I see a lot more clips of the Bundesliga. Like those fans go crazy there.
true. Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know if I don't want to I don't want to say fans primarily, right? Because it goes down to a lot of things. But I think I don't know. It's hard because they all, I feel like, have different things to bring. They all do. The fans are there for different reasons, I feel. And the Bundesliga, go ahead, do. I think
Sorry,
I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's a little unfair considering the Bundesliga have that great rule about the fans.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was going to bring up.
because of that, the 50+1, for those who know I'm not mentioning, but the 50+1 is like, so important to their culture over there in that league, and it allows for their fans to be so connected. But with that being said, even with that, I feel like I've seen plenty of Serie A clips that have just been like so powerful.
Crazy.
Like that Higuain one was insane when there's when he's yelling. I feel like the Italian fans are really passionate. They do go absolutely crazy. And I'll be honest, Do more leagues need more funding to compete with the Premier League? Yes, I do
Easily.
think so.
Yeah.
But you gotta give credit where it's due. Like Napoli are arguably the most informed team in Europe right now, and
Definitely.
they have spent very little, very little compared to most top teams. And so I don't know. I would still put the Serie A above the Bundesliga. It's tough, man. It's tough. They're equal. They're really both
Yeah.
really good.
But
See,
they're
or you
probably
could.
good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you could just compare like teams wise. So like there's 20 teams but there's both 20 teams in both leagues, right? Just want to make sure
Yeah.
before I look like an idiot. All right, just checking.
Yeah,
And then you compare each team. Like I feel like there's better teams in the Bundesliga than there are in Serie A because I feel like a part of the reason why Serie A in total hasn't spent a lot of money is because a lot of the clubs in Serie A don't have a lot of funding. They're very small. Like yes, in the Bundesliga, that's with any team. Like you look at like what in the Prem there's smaller teams too, but like they have more funding than a Serie A team, right? But I feel like there's more better teams in the Bundesliga that can compete at a high level than there are at Serie A. Like you have your main clubs. You got your Inter, you got Inter Milan, you got Juventus, and then you got Napoli, and then I'm missing some. I think I'm missing two more. But you have the core
Roma,
four.
Lazio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those five, those 6, 7, and then I feel like the Bundesliga. I feel like they have better teams overall. If that you catch my drift, like overall wise, they have better teams at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, in the past, no, but now I think they do.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Kind of like I understand. Like I understand that for sure. But at the same time, I think it's like it's not giving Italy and the Italian teams enough credit, because I feel like there also is subconsciously a heavy link between talent and how much you're spending on them. But just because these teams aren't spending as much as like Bundesliga teams might be, or vice versa, doesn't mean they're not as good. I think Bundesliga teams are starting to get better players, but Serie A still has like really, really good teams. I mean, and teams that can still compete at high levels, like year in, year out, Juve go far in the Champions League.
Let's not forget as well, like Kvaratskhelia, one of the most informed players in the world right now. He was bought for 10, 12 million. Insane. Do you know how many Premier League teams are going to do that? Almost none. And none of the top ones that would go and buy a player like that and immediately start playing him. That way Napoli did, and Napoli are getting the benefits from it. And this is for 10 million. So yeah, it's not going to look like a lot on paper, but the amount he's offering them is worthy of a 50, 60 million player right there. So
well, at the same time, though, like while I completely agree, teams know how to fleece the Premier League. Like if you West Ham compared to Napoli, looking at Kvaratskhelia before he moves, they're gonna ask West Ham for 30, 40 million, whereas Napoli's just gonna ask for 10. They'll be like, yeah, okay, we'll give it to you for that because no one else is in there, So I want to make that comparison first, but I agree. I mean, it's smart spending by Napoli, and Napoli are where they are right now, even after losing most of the key players, Mertens, Insigne, Manolas,
I know.
To be fair, those players had to go at the time.
They did for sure, but like for a long time they were the team, and I don't think it's unfair to say that. I thought when they left, I thought Napoli was going to be like a shit show. If I'm being honest, I thought they were going to be like, okay, and then this kid from Georgia comes out of nowhere. Osimhen's the best, arguably top 5 striker in the world, 3 striker in the world right now. At least in terms of form, he's maybe the best striker in the world right now. Did you guys see his finish the other day?
No,
a day or two ago. So beautiful. But
the one where he controls it.
Yeah, it just bangs it into the middle, top middle, over the keeper. So nice.
What a player.
But yeah, Bundesliga. In terms of Bundesliga, yes, I think they're. I mean, as sad as it is, it all goes down to spending. Like that's just what it is. It's because spending brings in headlines, brings in fans, brings in a bigger market, brings in more television channels, whatever networks wanting to cover that because you have such a big player. Blah blah blah. And I think Bundesliga can keep. even just Bayern keeping up with it. I mean, the Bundesliga has their own issues, but I think to me it's the third best league in the world right now.
Behind La Liga, I'm guessing.
Behind La Liga, behind Premier League 1, La Liga 2, and then Bundesliga 3. But it's rising. Have you seen the Bundesliga title race right now?
Yeah, it's FC. What is it? Bayern.
Union Berlin's up there, I think.
Yeah, Union Berlin. They're second right now. I was looking at the table. Also, I just want to apologize. There's actually 18 teams in the Bundesliga, not 20. So please don't crucify me.
I'll just show over here real quick.
Yeah, it's a close race.
Sorry, can I mention something? I'd also argue that the bottom half of La Liga is actually a lot weaker than most of these other Serie A or Bundesliga teams. It's just that La Liga have some insane top tier teams that we tend to skip over that. But I honestly, I think I would rather talk about La Liga. If we're going to talk about spending, we should talk about those bottom half teams. They are struggling big time.
Yeah, I mean they just can't keep up. Well, it's also I feel like the divide. It's I don't know. I don't want to make this claim yet per se, but it's such a huge divide with the top team and the smallest team in the top division. You know, at least in the Premier League, like the big six spend a lot, but there are always teams at the bottom that can keep up just a little bit. France is getting a little bit better. Like there are slowly a bunch more teams starting to rival them.
Yeah.
Like Rennes, they're in the 11, 12 game unbeaten streak. I saw you like a tweet too, Diego. Yeah, Lens, Leo was been challenging past couple years.
Oh, football manager.
Football manager guy.
Yeah. I love that.
But yeah, I think the divide in between bottom of the Liga, top of the Liga is way bigger than a lot of these other leagues. And I think that's why it's just hard because I mean you can't blame them, also because I mean you can't compete with the two biggest teams arguably in football. In the world of football, if not football history, who are spending year in, year out, pulling 13, 14, 15 economic levers, financial levers out of nowhere to spend more than you on one player. I know. I don't necessarily blame La Liga teams.
Bro, that's crazy. I'm looking at the La Liga table. There's a team with only 6 points, and they have won a single game this season. They're 19 games in. They're at the bottom of the table. That's crazy.
Which team? Oh yeah. Oh fuck.
Elche. I feel so bad for them. That must be so demoralizing. They've only scored 12 goals.
Serie A was pretty.
We lost a co-host.
There he goes. He's back.
Elijah pulled executive power. He's like, no, fuck.
He's out. Serie A was pretty wild too. Cremonese haven't won a game through 20. And they're on 8 points. But they just beat. I think it was Napoli. I think they beat Napoli or Inter Milan and they're in the Italian Cup last week or something like that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, crazy. Oh, Juve's in 13. I want to say Juve's in 13.
Oh, they dropped. Yeah.
Okay, I am going to. We're going to move on because we're getting pretty far in this.
Wrexham? Question mark.
Okay, I was gonna. Okay, I like that. I wasn't on the list, but I was thinking about it of adding them in here. Okay, but the question I'm gonna ask is, the story of Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, blah blah blah. It's great, right? 5th division team beating these teams that are 2-3 leagues above them. If not, they almost beat Sheffield today, but they're going to replay. But even that's an achievement. Doing all these things. New investment, huge thing for non-league football, right? Does it highlight? This might be. I don't know if it's a stretch, but does it show why the MLS needs relegation promotion? Because there's so many Americans that are interested in Wrexham because of Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, blah blah blah, right? And it's a team they can get behind, but none of this magic would ever happen in the MLS or anything, even with the same level of owners, because no promotion relegation. I don't know. What do you guys think? It was a tweet I saw. That was back in my mind.
You twisted that. I like that. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I think people would be way more interested for 100% because there's more on the line than just finishing. Right. I mean, we talked about this so many times before, but finishing dead last, you're like, oh, okay, well, next year. or like ownership. It's like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, because like look at LAFC, they got a bajillion owners, like so many owners, it's ridiculous. But like we'll just say Will Ferrell is like usually the face of LAFC every time they're mentioned. So yeah, I feel like it'd be awesome, really awesome if there was relegation. It's not possible. We talked about this before, like, but financially wise, it wouldn't be. But if they had it set up, it'd be sick because we would have Orange County FC over there in Orange County, really close to us, possibly going up, right? Because they won the USL this year, and then they beat several teams in the US Open Cup to get. I think they got to the semis or the final of the US Open Cup. Because they beat Galaxy and then they beat someone else after, but yeah, it'd be sick, to be fair. But what they're doing over there in Wales, because Wrexham's in Wales, not the England, but it's crazy. I hope they do win on against Sheffield Wednesday. I think they're playing Thursday, but yeah.
I mean, if you looked at the clips like from today, just so electric, so crazy. I mean, I don't know what I was doing, but you see them, they're playing Sheffield, and you're like, okay, you know what, that'd be a cool win. They're playing a championship team, a team who was in the Premier League a year or two ago. You know, let's see what they can do. I mean, it'd be pretty cool if they beat them, but it's whatever.
They go 1-0 down in the first minute.
Yeah, like this is probably their exit of the FA Cup, and then that's not like in the 86th minute they were winning, and then unfortunately Sheffield has scored in the end. But yeah, I think it also kind of highlights, like Wrexham's story with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Highlights how possible it is with the right funding for these smaller teams to get big. Because how many stories have we heard of lower league teams, not even like non-league football, just lower league teams that are like have the crappiest owners that just don't care, and then the team goes into administration. Bolton, Bury, there's so many teams that can be named, and these two guys, one from America, one from Canada, and they come in and invest in this team, and there is a chance within the next decade that we see Wrexham in the Premier League.
I don't doubt that. It's not just them, but it's also because they own it and they're so popular. Like the kit shirt sales are probably through the roof. They're probably always sold out. That's a lot of money coming in, and then the ticket sales are probably full. Yeah, and they're first right now in non-league football, so they're probably going to get promoted to the next division. They'll be officially pro league. So it's genuinely mind-boggling what's happening here, but I'm very happy that it's happening because it shows like it just fits our narrative of it's all about money at the end of the day. Like it's really cool. It's really cool though to see because you can tell they actually care. If you guys watch Welcome to Wrexham documentary, they actually do care about the club. So it's nice to see that they actually care.
I think this also lays a huge milestone for other Americans or just North Americans, let's just say, because Ryan's just Canadian, North Americans that now can look at football and be like, hey, this could be something we could do. And obviously we don't want just for the spirit of football, we don't want just someone investing in not caring about the club. We want them to be passionate about it as well. But I'm saying if you have that mixture of passion and funding, like there maybe be more of that combination coming in and us seeing more of that. And I think that's just great for marketability, accessibility, having it reach more people throughout the world. I think all of that is just there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's just better. It'll be better for it.
It's so cool to see too because they're not only improving this football club, they're improving the whole community of Wrexham. Yeah, I just saw a tweet today. There was a mom, her son was on the U9s for some futsal Wrexham team who needed $600 for new kits or something like that. And then Ryan Reynolds saw it and he donated $600 plus another $1,000 for whatever the kids may need. And then they made these dope purple new purple kits and with the Deadpool logo right here. As a tribute to Ryan Reynolds. But it's things like that. They went in, they're improving the football club and improving the community around them, and that's what football needs to be about. It's really about community for so many people, right? And then being a part of a community, things like that. And then you see all these other owners, they just go in solely to make a profit, don't make a profit, and and their team is way worse off than they were when he got there, and then they leave, and
their community is too, because revenue.
Exactly.
It's different in England, in the UK. I'm gonna say UK because it encapsulates everybody. But like in UK, there's so many football clubs, so many small communities that rely on the club to make money, because so many people work with the football club within that community, and it also brings people there. So store managers there make money. So yeah, it's really nice to see how much of a positive impact they're making. But also, it's different in the UK because the community is very reliant on
there's more
the
community.
club to. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and then like here in the NFL or like the NBA, like if a team loses, it's all right. It's a community, but it's not like as important as it is in the UK.
Yeah, and I mean, especially in football over there, like non-MLS football, it's just because wins and losses literally mean so much more because of promotion relegation. Like, I mean, I don't want to. I'm sorry for bringing it back to this, but MLS given promotion relegation, fans care now, right? You look at LAFC games, you look at any other games, really in the MLS, and there's so many like ultras who care, right? But there's no stakes. End of the day, there's no stakes, because regardless of how good you do or not, like any other American sport, you're gonna rebuild the next year or two, and you're gonna come back and you're gonna be fine. No punishment, no stakes. But that's what American football needs, or American soccer needs. They need Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney over here, and promotion relegation. But God,
that's
I would love
the
to see
main
Wrexham
thing.
up there. Like,
that'd be sick.
I'm not saying they're going to win the FA Cup, but the scenes, if they even touch the quarters.
See, I don't
anything,
I don't want West Ham to face Wrexham because I'll be conflicted. Because I want the Cinderella story to continue, but at the same time, I don't want to lose to a non-league team. So it's a short. So I hope that doesn't happen.
I would love to see that matchup.
Okay, well, who's still in the FA Cup?
The world will be with Wrexham. Who's going to be in the Premier League next year? We can
all three of our teams will be.
Oh, I know. Diego sent me a tweet.
Oh dear. What is it about?
Oh my god! No. Okay, I'm just gonna. That's crazy. Okay. So Tottenham. Diego's Tottenham fan. I'll tell you right now. Diego's Tottenham fan. Tottenham's going through some crap. We all know that. We've talked about it for the past like 2-3 weeks now. But a bright shining light at Tottenham was that they were going to sign Pedro Porro. Got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, and the move is off now. That's what Diego sent me.
Apparently reported
supposedly by David Ornstein,
who's a pretty good reporter. So
get shit on.
Yeah.
No one wants to come to Tottenham. It's tough.
I hate to say it. I'm looking at the sub tweets, but Spurs have bottled it and now wasted the whole transfer window. I mean, yeah. This is the one player
he's got 2 days.
Here's the thing.
I'll show you that one day.
Yeah, one day. Fuck. Okay, so sorry, swearing, my bad. So here's
live
the thing.
reaction.
What was I gonna say? We whether we got him or not, obviously I'm disappointed because I thought it was gonna happen. Fabrizio Romano basically confirmed it, and now apparently it's a no. I need to see Fabrizio what he has to say, but I'm imagining he's gonna say the same thing. So whether that or not, it's still a problem that we were only chasing one player this entire month, and that we weren't working on more than one player, and that is a problem. And here's what's gonna happen: people are gonna say we're not gonna sign anyone. We are gonna sign someone, but it's gonna be some random ass player that just happens to fill us a gap for like the next 6 months, and that's it. It's not gonna be a permanent solution, and it's gonna be a loan with some like shitty buyback clause or whatever, and that's it. It's not gonna be what we want, and that's just gonna be worse than missing out on Pedro Porro.
Yeah, I know. Like I always say every week, I'm like semi-pro of Tottenham on Twitter because of Diego and how many tweets he likes, but. More recently, I'm starting to see like just things like we're struggling to sign Pedro Porro, Chelsea to sign blah blah blah. Like we can't compete. Like Tottenham fans are just like accepting it at this point. It seems, Diego.
Well, we can't compete. That's just facts. We really can't.
Yeah.
But no, but it's not even the money part in this regard. It's the fact that the club isn't doing enough. You could be looking at multiple options and having backup plans. And if you know that you're on a limited budget with a limited financial, pull,
Yeah.
you
You
know
plan for
that
that.
you plan for that. And Danjuma, I think, was one of those where like they saw a chance to sign a good rotation player and they went for it. And I was like, that's good. That's a classic Tottenham move. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But then we go pull a classic Tottenham move in the bad way, and now we're how do I say it in a good way? Now we are screwed for the rest of the month.
Oh yeah, you owe us for that signing, by the way. Just letting you know. The Juma signing. Yeah.
How do we owe you?
Why?
Because he didn't want to work with David Moyes because apparently if we sacked Moyes, Everton was gonna sign David Moyes as the manager, and Moyes doesn't like the Juma because of character issues, so that's why he pulled out of the
Wait,
deal.
Juma's played under Moyes before?
No, West Ham were rumored to sign him in the summer, but Moyes said no because he didn't like his character issues.
That makes sense. But it's just
it's just kind of funny.
It's funny, but it's sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. First time with new owners. The first time meme is that, and then I'm there. Sorry, bud.
I need new owners. I need it.
We still have the same shit owners. Rest in peace.
What I don't like is for Tottenham, like there's been, I don't want to say accountability, but there's been no accountability taken from anyone that needs to take it on Tottenham's side.
Daniel Levy hasn't spoken a single word for months now. By the way, can I just say our fans have been great. They've been saying Levy out every game now, and even the commentators actually said something about it in our FA Cup game. Yeah, we're making our voices heard. That's the least we can do because honestly, at this point, it's something needs to change. I'm getting so fed up. I don't want to go on a rant because I already went on a rant last week, but you get my point.
Week in, week out. It's a week in, week out.
It's a week in, week out thing.
Hey, we got another Tottenham clip ready to go now because of that.
Yeah.
So we take it.
Damn it, man. That just ruined my night, bro. I was having such a good night, too, and that just fucking ruined my night.
It's about to ruin your morning now, too.
No, let's move on. Let's move on before we post the next day.
You can't forget Emerson Royale is like dipping into the form of his life. Arguably top 5 wing back in the world right now.
Lloris is one of the best keepers right now.
Lloris is Harry Kane. Actually, Harry Kane's probably gonna retire there. He's never gonna move at this point. Heung-min Son's dipping into his form that he missed also dearly. Matt Doherty. Matt Doherty is one of the top right backs in the league.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer. Love that guy.
Højbjerg is easily a top 5 DM in the world. I'd say.
Yeah.
No,
also, don't even get me started on that bench. That bench is nasty.
The
options you can bring on.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay, all right. Just for you,
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll just
I like how we're shitty. I just want to say I like how we're shitty on Spurs, but they're more higher up the table than both their clubs. But it's fine
for now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're only like 5 points behind them, I think. So.
I know. I'm only 10 points. We're only 10 points behind Chelsea.
Okay, let's stand that's a little much. Let's come on.
It's a dub. All right,
we're 7 points behind Tottenham, but we have a game on them. Okay, I'll just give one more because I know
West Ham are not 10 points behind. By the way, guys, I just want to put that out there.
No, West Ham's 18 points behind Tottenham.
Yeah,
I said 10 points behind Chelsea.
They're 11 points behind.
Behind Chelsea. Okay.
That's fine. That's doable. I can do that.
I can do that. Yeah, you're not.
I can do that. In FIFA, I can do it. In FIFA, I can bring it back.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw the clip of actually. I'm not gonna talk about that one. I'm gonna do a different one. So Copa America is confirmed to be hosted by the USA 2024. We did a video on this like a month or two ago already. That are pretty good. Yeah, but it's confirmed now. But I don't. If I say the same thing, it's gonna repeat that video, which I don't want. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Alongside the USA, in total, there's gonna be 6 CONCACAF teams in Copa America. I don't know what teams those are gonna be. Probably USA, Mexico, Canada, and 3 other teams. But I want to say, like, is this beneficial to all sides? Is this really good for CONCACAF, not good for the Golden Bowl teams in South America? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this like the route that they should be taking? Is this not the route they should be taking?
What from who?
With the Copa America only having CONCACAF.
Copa America, yeah, because not only, but they're implementing 6 CONCACAF teams, North American teams. If you don't know,
instead of the other one.
6 North. Normally they don't. Normally they invite one.
Yeah.
I think 1 or 2 like non-Golden Bowl teams, right? So I don't know. Is this something that's good for the tournament? Good for the continent of North America?
Because let's be honest, the non-country teams that are part of those associations always get shit on. They always do. Let's be honest here. They always do. So it's like there's no like yes, it's good for them financially wise, get exposure, but it's not fun seeing them play because whoever's in the group is just gonna win by a lot, and they're just gonna get out immediately after the group stage. So it's not like there's an Iceland in there, from the Euros who's gonna go on surprise the world. That's not gonna happen at all. There's never been one time where that's happened.
I'm very happy that 6 CONCACAF teams. I mean, we can speculate who those other 3 are going to be. Like, I think it could be
Jamaica.
I was going to say Jamaica, maybe Costa Rica.
Yeah, probably. And one more.
Honduras, maybe. I can see Honduras being part of them.
Yeah, it's probably those 3. Let's be honest.
Because Honduras. Really
they said the Nations League. That's how they were going to decide the other 3.
Okay.
I heard.
Interesting.
So is the Nations League finishing?
I'll believe it. I'll believe it. Okay, but yeah, like teams like that, I think it's really good for CONCACAF. I think it's good for Golden Bowl in the way that they probably have like easier competition. But at the same time, it's like they're just filler teams. Like they're not going to do they're going to do the exact same thing that Qatar did, that Japan does, that Mexico does. Sorry, Mexico, but that Mexico does whenever they play in the tournament. I don't know. Like I'm kind of conflicted. Like I love it, but can we expect much? No, not really. Literally just from the USA. That's all I'm expecting anything from.
I
think the USA. They could. They won't.
Same thing with the US. I'm just saying.
I think USA's. I mean, it's in a year from now, year and a half from now. I think this just goes back to the topics we've been talking about for 3-4 months now. USA are in a better spot than Mexico, and I think they have a better chance to pull something off. The pulling something off could mean quarterfinals. Like that's really all it's going to be. They're not going to do anything, but yeah, USA the only team I'm excited to see compete against the other teams. Like I mean, you say yourself too, Andres. Like who do they lose like 7-0 to when they last in Copa America
against Chile? But at the same time, I'm still a Mexico supporter, so I'm looking for.
Oh, of course. And I mean, I'm wearing a Chivas kit. I have a Mexico kit. I'm Mexican. Like I want to see. I'll support Mexico through it, but I think I have very little expectations for anyone besides the USA, and the USA is even a stretch for me.
Well, the thing is that with Mexico, it was the manager the whole time, and plus it's a new generation transition. We've talked about this so many times, but I think with the right manager, if he calls the right players, I think they'll have a good shot of doing well. I'm not saying we'll go to the finals or anything, but good shot at least quarters. I'll be happy with that. Just at least we don't get embarrassed. I'll be fine with that. I do. Just no embarrassing results would be great.
Fair. Do you have something to say? You open your mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Not you guys already said it, but I have to agree with Elijah. I think the U.S. is a stronger team right now, but I also don't want to rule out Mexico, considering it is a year and a half. Things change in that time. You could see a new coach, new implementation of players, maybe some better form. I don't want to rule them out either. But without doubt, I mean, you have to be more confident in the U.S. doing something and having hopes to. I mean, hey, it's not going to be easy. You got some insanely good teams in there.
Yeah.
I doubt they're going to do like winning it, but still, I think there's a good chance they show themselves, show a bit of pride.
Yeah. I think it's finally good that North American teams are getting the exposure that these big tournaments bring.
Absolutely.
It's because the Euros happen at the same time as Copa America, and everyone watches both. More so Euros, but a lot of people watch Copa America alongside of it.
Right.
Depending where you live, because I think time is the most important factor when they're being played. But like this is a global thing. Like people in France are going to watch Argentina play, are going to watch Brazil play just because they are. But no one besides Americans are going to watch the Gold Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all they partake in besides the World Cup, if they make it to the World Cup. That's it. But it's finally good that these teams have, like I said, the exposure, the chance to perform at a higher level, get more revenue, blah blah blah, all those things. Give more opportunities for players to play, prove themselves. Yeah, I saw this is kind of beside the point, but Zendejas, the American player, he was playing for Mexico like most of his youth career, but he wasn't allowed to. So like Mexico had a forfeit like 2 or 3 of the friendlies they played with that he played in it, and like the like youth friendlies and stuff like that because he wasn't allowed to play.
Yeah,
So,
they had some mix up with like eligibility stuff. They weren't able to file correctly.
Yeah, so
Which is
he played in the game. He suited
up
up in the games, and then he's obviously with the USA now. But yeah, the games that he played in, they forfeited. Now, like they changed the result. Yeah, to 3-0. Yeah, shambles. But okay, we're just gonna call it there. Andres has to be studious, hella studious. So we'll just call it there. Episode. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about next weekend because Premier League starts back up next weekend. Transfer window's over.
What's our next game?
Wrexham may be in the next round of the FA
Wrexham
Cup.
could be. We could see what Tottenham don't do by then.
We got around 24 hours ish, 48 hours.
You're kicking it down, man. Here, it's not.
Hey, how do you think I feel?
Here.
Exactly.
I don't do it. Elijah does it to you.
No mercy. Cobra Kai rules out here, all right?
You goddamn right.
Oh my god, next game against Man City.
It's okay. They beat Arsenal too. It's all right, bud. Get better. We play Chelsea after Newcastle, so.
Oh, that's 2 losses right there.
Hella good game. 4:30 in the morning for us, but I know Andres and I are both going to be awake.
Yes, sir. We'll do a live match reaction afterwards, and then we'll go to bed.
You're damn right. Or stay up because we just woken up. Okay, well, we'll just call it there. Since it's Andres that wants to cut it so short, Andres, give me the outro.
All right.
No, I didn't mean to like backhand.
Damn, no. All right. If you guys got to this point, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. It is free. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.